Hi, I just want to quickly talk about Grainline with you. Grainline is a very important vocabulary word to learn and to start using throughout this class. It's a way that we describe the direction of the fabric. So in this class, you're going to take pattern pieces, these weird, funny shapes, and you're going to cut them out of fabric, and then you're going to sew them together and they'll turn into a garment. Now, the direction of how you cut out these shapes on the fabric does matter. If you cut them a little bit crooked on the fabric, then your garment might twist and torque all funny. So you really want to make sure that you line up your pattern pieces the proper way on the fabric. And how to do that is by the grain line. So the pattern piece will have an arrow on it showing you the direction of the grain line. And then you need to look at your fabric and identify, well, where is the grain line on the fabric? And then you can line up the two together. So grain line is the direction of your fabric, how it was woven. For example, I have some fabric here on a loom still. This is a very small swatch of fabric, but the way fabric is made in woven fabric is that you have these yarns going up and down on the loom, and then you have other yarns that go over, under. And once the whole thing's filled up, voila, you have fabric, okay? So these yarns right here, they call it also the warp yarns. This is basically the direction of your grain line, how it goes up and down. And on this loom, I can only make fabric, so wide, but on a lot of looms, you can actually, they'll like wind it so you can make it longer and longer. Like this fabric here was obviously made on the loom where it could wind those warp yarns so that it would be really long. And this fabric is much wider. So in this case, the direction, the straight grain line is going up and down and would be this way. Why that's important? Imagine if I took this piece of fabric off of the loom and I'm gonna make a shirt out of it. When I'm wearing the shirt, all of my warp yarns, they're gonna be pulled down because of gravity. So it's gonna be a nice fit if I cut out my shirt, this is the top and bottom, and it'll fit nicely. If I were to cut my pattern out a little crooked so that I'm actually wearing the shirt like this, these yarns are not gonna stay to the side. Gravity's gonna pull them to come back down, and that's how you get the twist. So the takeaway is just, for now, memorize the vocabulary word grain line, understands the direction of the fabric that goes up and down, and then just start to practice looking for it in every project that we make. Here is more traditional kind of fabric you'll see at the store. This fabric is about 60 inches wide, and you can see the edges are finished. They don't fray, whereas this top edge is frayed because somebody had cut fabric off of it. So a loom is only gonna be so wide, 60 inches, 44 inches, in this case about 20 inches. And we want to finish the edges so that they don't fray. And so we do that with what's called a selvage. And you'll see there's different types of selvages out there. But once you recognize a selvage and you can find the selvage, then it's really easy to find the grain line because the grain line goes the same direction as the selvage, okay? So find the selvage, then you'll know the direction of the grain line because they go the same way. Once you know those two, then it's easy to figure out the cross grain, which is the direction perpendicular. And then the last grain line that we talk about is the bias line, which is on the 45-degree angle. Okay, that's it.